because I'm not a great gardener or golfer. That's possibly why I've kept going a bit longer than most. Yeah, I think the older you get, you do reflect on the past. And a lot of the memories I have they go back a long way. But it's just memories, really, I think.
I can remember Jeff, right from the start when I started, because he was the person who knew everything about gel coats and composites and everything, and he did a lot of the training. So he showed us how to use the materials properly, and obviously we were never as good as Jeff at doing it, but he really gave us some really good guidance on how to use the products.
The team, when I first joined, there were a number of people in the team that had sort of 20 years plus experience, and they still referred to Jeff as the oracle or the legend that was there. Sort of, if there's anything that you need to know, talk to Jeff. He's probably done it before, he's seen it before, he can point you in the right direction.
It was almost like Joint Scott Bard. You can't go wrong. It's a no-brainer sort of thing. So I wasn't destined to be the best chemist in the world. So it was a leap of faith on both parts, really.
So Jeff is great. He's always got time for you. He's always helpful. I'm very annoying to Jeff, and I know that because I ring him with lots of questions. I ask him to check a lot of emails just to make sure I'm giving correct information to customers. But nothing's too much trouble for Jeff, and he's a bit like a sponge. He just knows everything, and he gives you that confidence to stand in front of customers so you know what you're talking about, really. So that's what I take from Jeff.
We spent a lot of time wrestling with various technical service related problems, and I always found you to be incredibly helpful and approachable, and you're always prepared to put your overall on and get stuck in.
We're selling technical products and technical solutions, and Jeff's knowledge has helped win many clients over the years, and become real long-standing clients, not just for today but for 30, 40, 50 years as Jeff has been involved with it. So yeah, great.
In technical support, often when you get called out to a customer, it's because something's gone wrong, and Jeff is just a really calming influence. He comes in, he doesn't panic, he's very disarming with customers as well. Often you'll arrive to their production stopped, linked to something to do with our product, and tempers are running high, and he's very good at remaining calm, objective, dissipating that situation.
We'd been called to a customer in Beccles down in Lowestoft. It was an urgent call, they've got a problem, and we hadn't got a car to get down there, so we got in touch with the local enterprise type place, and they said, well, all we've got is a soft top convertible. I said, well, we'll have to have it, we've got to go. So Jeff was thrilled. He was going to be a rider, because he's always been very sedate about his cars. They're all very, just little cars that, not going to give him any problems. So we got this convertible all the way down to Beccles. It rained, and he was distraught. He just wanted to get the top down. So we dealt with the customer, came back, and we got the other side of Kettering, which is 15 miles from here. And you could see that he was really frustrated. So I said, just stop the car. We put the roof down. So we drove from the other side of Kettering to Wollaston in the rain with the top down, just so that he could say he'd had the top down on this car. And he was like a big kid. He just loved it.
I mean, customers love him, but we all love him in as well. And I think it's because he always helps. So if there's an issue, you could ask Jeff, and he'd go, yes, I know, I've seen that before. In 1970, whatever, we had that same issue, and he remembers these things.
And there were some brilliant stories about petrol immersion tests, where the guy doing the test had used all the petrol in his motor scooter and made all the results up. So, and some of this, you don't know if it's strictly true, but I think there was more than an element of truth in that story. I mean, Ernest Bard was still around in those days, and even at that age you knew best to avoid, if you could, meeting him, because he'd always ask some strange question that you might not be able to answer. But
I just remember Jeff for his humour. He's a one of a kind, is Jeff, and he's got such a way of telling stories and jokes. I shall remember that.
There's a good story that one of the reps when I started, he was a composite rep, but he was originally a PVC rep. That was like a decision that division was going to be closed, and he wouldn't have a job. So he decided, as he was a Commonwealth member, that he would come in, sit in his office, read the paper, and he did that for months before they found him another job. So he just refused to go. He was this quite a character. He was also colour blind, which was also handy. You went to a customer with a colour problem, he could argue completely genuinely he couldn't see the difference between this batch and that batch.
Jeff, he sort of lightens the mood when he comes into the lab. I know he likes quizzes, so he often comes in with some obscure quiz question that he'll throw at me. Or if not that, he'll probably try and tell me a joke, because he has a wide repertoire of jokes.
But they're like one-liners that you would get in Crackers. So yeah, we always know when we had Crackers at Christmas, because he comes out with these jokes for weeks afterwards. But he always spoils it by laughing at the punchline before he's actually given the punchline.
I have a giggle every time because they're terrible, but they're great. And it's nice to have somebody come along and actually think to yourselves, we're just going to have a nice little chat for a couple of minutes.
He has told me there's one colleague that his mission is to try and make him smile, but he hasn't succeeded so far, but I won't name the person. But
I'm 67 now, so I don't think I'd give any advice, really. I think it's just be yourself and do your best. And treat people how you'd like to be treated yourself. I don't think you'd go far wrong. But I haven't got anything particularly magical to tell, to impart to people. But just give that extra mile if you can. If the phone's going at 1 minute to 5, answer the phone. Don't say, well, forget that. It's nearly home time. So just try and do your best, really.
If I had to describe Jeff in one word.
Oh gosh, Jeff in one word.
That's a difficult question.
In a single word.
Oh my God, in one word?
reliable was the first word that came to mind, but that almost sounds a little bit too staid and boring, doesn't it? But invaluable. Yeah, let's go with invaluable. I think that's a better word.
Dependable.
Humble, I think.
Loyalty is probably the big word, I would say.
Genuine. That's the word I'd use, genuine.
He's a great friend, loyal, trustworthy, knowledgeable, experienced. You know, there's many words that you can describe him of, but he touches on all of them, really.
Yeah, a bit of a strange thing to say about a work colleague, but if I had to use one word, I think I would say dad, a father figure. Yeah.
He's just always been there. Jeff has always been there for as long as I've been there, and can't imagine Scott Barder without him, really.
It's remarkable that he's managed to work for the company for 50 years and give 50 years service, something that will never happen again, I'm sure. And I think it's a great achievement, and it'll be remembered throughout the part of Scott Barder's history.
I mean, he must love it for a start. He must enjoy the people around him who he's worked with over those 50 years. But the loyalty to the job, to the role, and to how he delivers is phenomenal.
Jeff, congratulations on your wonderful career. We are celebrating you today. Best wishes to you and your family.
You know, knowing Jeff, he'll probably think, he won't fully recognise just how much he's contributed to the company, and he'll probably think, what's all the fuss about? What's this all for me? I've just done my job for this period. He doesn't realise how instrumental he has been to Scott Barder over the years, the building of the technical support team, the customer base that we have now. He's very well known and very well respected across our customer base.
I'm not the best on a computer anyway. I'm a bit of a dinosaur, so I don't think I've learned any computer skills in the recent times. Not particularly well organised, but hopefully I've made a difference.